The oil is checked, the wheel studs are tightened. The day I've been waiting since May 23rd, 2023 is finally here. Let's go and take this for an MOT. Wish me luck. Let's pause that there. Right, I had to stop there. Couldn't just let it run through like that. I felt I owed you guys a bit of an explanation on how I got the car, how I found it, how it all came about. And I was going to do a screen share of some of the stuff that I've got from organising the car in the first place, initial contact with the people who got it in for me, and the pictures that I saw and what I've seen since, and obviously moving along the progress of how it started. So if I take you back, although I got the car on the 29th of May 2023, so nearly 3 years, it's been sitting in Garage 86. This is obviously House 86. Prior to that, I'd initially made contact with a company called BHP Imports. Let me share the screen on this one. Now, I'd seen it on Goonet, which is this company here. Now, unfortunately, this is the original link that I sent, but obviously they're not going to keep things on track for 4 years almost. But initially I got in contact with a company called BHP Imports, and specifically this guy here, Barry. So yeah, I made first contact with them, believe it or not, back on the 11th of October 2018. Paid him a deposit to help me find a car. Wanted a red one, wanted a 14R, wanted a manual. Preferably with the wing, potentially with the big brake kit. So fast forward from the 11th of October 2018 to the 10th of October 2022, and me and this guy managed to find this Goonet car, which I'll show you some pictures of now. These were the original ones I saw when I was looking to purchase one, and you know, it had the wing, it was definitely a manual, it looked in good condition, it had I think sub 30,000 kilometers, so it all looked to be in pretty good shape, and I was happy with that, and I asked them to proceed. So the bid was placed by Barry on the 10th of October 2022, and I think a day or so later it was approved, and these were some initial pictures that were taken by the guys when they got it back to their Japanese sort of depot. So, and there you can see their information there, BHP imports, bespoke high performance, and these were just some pictures that I was sent just so that I could see the quality of the car and that I was happy. I mean, obviously by that point I'd already paid for it, but always good to know that there is a car that you're receiving and that you're moving along the process of getting the car, for example. These were just some more shots that they took around the dock area. Still got some of these as wallpapers on the computer. Was obviously a wet day there, but I won't hold that against them. And I was also shown a reel of a walk around the car as well. Once I get to the bottom of these, there's quite a lot of pictures. They're very diligent in that respect. Can't thank them enough. So yeah, there was a little bit of damage. There was this section broken off the front wing, but this was repaired before I got it. There's a couple of little marks here and there, as you'd expect. But all in all, they were happy, we were happy, we bought the car that we thought we bought. So happy with that. And then this is the show reel that they sent. So just a good thorough walk around of the car from a good distance. So obviously you might not see any obvious imperfections, but it was a good example of how the car looked. I was happy with that. And it did include a quick interior scan as well, just so I could see that it was what it said it was. It was a genuine 14R, it wasn't just a rebadged 86. So yeah, obviously happy to see this. It was like being a kid on Christmas, getting these sort of videos and pictures coming through. And there he is sitting in the back, so we can see the pictures of the front. Very nice of him, squeezing himself in there. And that was my sort of experience of what I saw of it from Japan. Then I received, let me close these down. I received the information that it was going onto a ship, and this was the route it was taking. So all the way from over here in Kobe, all around most of the world, to little Newcastle over there, where the boys would pick it up from the dock. And this was my little cargo confirmation. It was on the, I don't want to get this wrong, but I will probably, Ho Shanghai boat. Departure date from Kobe was the 17th of November 2022. Planned load there, that was my VIN number, but obviously I've removed that for obvious reasons, and it was being released in Newcastle on Boxing Day, 26th of 12th 2022. So obviously the guys weren't going to pick it up straight away once it was back in the UK, but once it was, I got these videos.
Which is a long way away. It's next door.
Hello, mate. So it's in good company at the moment. Some extremely rare cars here. Literally, this is kind of rare car corner. Yeah, 14R is pride of place. Looks stunning, to be honest. It was raining as well. I was on the way over here, but it wipes straight down with the wet cloth. Yeah, looks very, very well.
And then it was sent for a detail at DCM Auto Detailing on the 30th of April 2023. So we got a before and after section. So I just took some of the pictures from that Facebook site just to show the detail that it had and how clean it looked. And then that was it. In amongst a friend of mine's STI or BRZ TS, I think it is, that was bought at the same time. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, unfortunately for me, his one had all the relevant details to be able to register it straight away. So he's been rolling around on it ever since 2023, whereas obviously I'm waiting until March 2026. Delivery, so this was delivery day. It's the only picture my wife took, which was the 29th of May 2023, and this was after it rolled off the transporter and just taking it round to the garage where it sat for about 2 years before I started making these videos. But anyway, that's kind of enough talk about that. Let's get back onto the chat about the MOT. So this was quite strange actually for me, because obviously all I've seen it in the garage, but there it was in the Shell garage getting some petrol without my number plates, feeling kind of illegal, even though it was insured for the day to be driven and I had the paperwork to prove I was doing an MOT. So no illegality at all. My wife even took a little video for me, which was this one. As it went past. And then yeah, this was at the MOT garage. So that kind of seems like a sensible place to revert back to the video. So let's click play. Six miles and one MOT later, we have a pass. Whew. Now, just got to get all the other paperwork stuff done, get this girl registered. And here it is, MOT pass in hand. 2nd of March 2026 till the 1st of March 2027, 22,806 miles. So we have that document. But that is far from the end of it. So I also needed this, which is my V750, which is the form you need for a number plate. So mine's a private plate, so in fact this is actually a certificate of entitlement to have me be able to use the number plate that I purchased from auction. That was back in the 27th of March 2019. So yeah, I've been doing some planning on this, getting stuff in place. You also need to send through your original export certificate, so I've got that there. And then the last form is the V55-5, which is the registration form that's actually been filled in for me by Baz, but I have to send all those off together. The thing I was waiting on, which I haven't had in 20 years, was one of these. Now for the younger people out there who don't know, this is a checkbook. Now, I haven't had one 20 years, but what you effectively do is you fill one in and say, pay the amount, and you send it to them, and then they have the cash. So that is for the £198 for annual road tax and £55 for the registration fee. And I've got to send all those off to the DVLA. But I just thought I'd show you the other bits I've got as well, which are, this is the what was actually on the release note for the car when it came over. This was on the windscreen, and sadly there's not a lot left of this to show because it's obviously just a counterpart, but this was the original damage report for the car. You can see up here, 4th of October 2018, so quite an old sheet of paper there. But what I was going to run you through as well, for full disclosure, how much this has cost me. Because it might be a question you guys are thinking, it might not, you might not be as nosy as I am, but if I do another, well, what I'll do, rather than tell you, share the screen, I'll just put the image up here and just run through it. And this was what BHP Impulse sent me. So as you can see, it had an oil and filter service, the air and cabin filter were done, it was detailed, ceramic coating, had a multi-point inspection. And you can see over on the right side, my initial deposit, paid way back in 2018, was £1,000 deposit. Then the car itself, and getting it actually sent over here, was £18,642. And then customs, which is VOSA clearance to actually have the car imported, like to say that it's okay, it's in this car, you have to announce that, which is roughly 20%, and then you also have to pay 10% duty, which is the customs estimate there of £3,728. And then BHP also, I paid them like a basic prep charge of £725. Which takes it up to 24,280. Then the MOT was £50, and as I just touched on, road tax was £198 for the year, and the registration fee is £55. Personal plate is £250, but that does include the cost to put it on the car, which I think is normally £80. And then I just need to give Baz a drink, or however much he wants to charge me, just to get my plates done up so I can have their details on the bottom and sent out. So I suppose all in all, we're probably looking around the 25,000 mark. But obviously you've seen I've done some mods since then, so that's nowhere near what the true figure is. But just wanted some transparency on it, because obviously you've come on the journey with me. So thank you for being on that journey with me, and if you have stayed this far, please do like, do subscribe, ask me any questions. I'm trying to be as open as I can, because obviously this was new to me, so it might well be new to some of you guys out there. But thanks for sticking with me up until this point, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. All the best. See you later.